Hey everybody, Jeff Helvin here with Lori Ballen and Ballen Brands, and we are at your command. And this video, I wanted to do a quick little update to help understand some of the terminology that is being used in the command interface. It's starting to confuse a few people, and understandably so, because these names are often interchangeable. I'm going to start first with campaigns and smart plans. So it seems that there's a little bit of a misunderstanding or confusion around what is what. And the best way to really explain this is campaigns is primarily meant to generate an interest to help get someone into command in the first place. So whether it be a paid Facebook ad, a Google ad, whether you're doing social posts, then these options here are really trying to, you're doing some sort of advertising, it's considered an advertising campaign, is why it's called that. And the goal and intent, of course, is to generate an actual lead to get them into the system. Now, we also have direct mail and email, which is also campaigns. And those, of course, again, are meant to go out to an audience to get them to become more of an actual lead, to get them in the system. So that is how campaign is being used. So consider that like top of funnel, getting people into the funnel and ultimately getting them into the database so that we can begin to nurture them. So that'll lead me now into the actual smart plans. So smart plans in some CRMs and databases are also called campaigns. Well, and that's excuse me, why there's some confusion there is that these might be considered campaigns on a person. So in theory, a campaign is a strategy to target an audience and to get them to take an action. So it's understandable that smart plans may, again, be misinterpreted as a campaign, or at least how it's used in this system. So again, campaigns is meant for top of funnel, getting people interested, getting them to raise their hand, having them actually interact with you to get into the database in the first place. Whereas a smart plan is really more a plan to keep them connected. These are nurturing plans. So once we actually have a contact in the database, now we can try to touch them, whether it be via an 8x8 or if we have an open house follow-up. These are, you've gotten a lead, they're in the system, or a contact even if they're not a lead, technically a lead yet. And we are now applying these smart plans to keep in contact. We're trying to build a rapport. We're trying to stay in touch and continue to be top of mind. So that's the distinguishing difference between what a campaign is and what a smart plan is. One is intended to get people into the system. The other is intended to keep in touch with those that are in the system. Okay, so, and then the other one is sites. That's the other big question mark that causes some confusion here. So sites in where we might assume means a website. A site is really more a location or a landing page, if you will, or a place to appear, to arrive at. So that's what a site is. So we have, if we click on create a new site, we have an option. We're not creating a whole new website, of course, when we click on create a new site. We're actually creating a page, or what we might consider a page, that will be accessible online. So in this case, we have the choice to either do create a new site on your agent site. So keep that in mind. Agent site is the actual term specifically for your website when we talk about a website as a whole. So on my agent site or as a standalone page. So if you create a new site as a standalone page, it in turn then actually becomes what we consider a landing page. So that's the difference there. So site, again, is really intended more as a term of a location. That's a site where someone is landing, and of course an actual website or a landing page is a physical URL that we'll be accessing to access that particular information. So hopefully that helps clear up some of the confusion that we have out there, but the names are appropriate on how they're being used. They're just a little bit different than what we're used to maybe, or what we've assumed we understood them to be in the past. So if you have any other questions, by all means, please reach out to us at team@ballenbrands, or you can go to understandcommand.com.